Guy Ritchie has some very interesting ideas about how a man should dress. He's a film director and producer who was previously married to Madonna. Whenever you see Guy Ritchie, he's always looking sharp, and there's a deep philosophy behind his style choices. Next month, Ritchie will release his Netflix series, The Gentleman, which promises to be a feast for sartorial eyes. So I thought there's no better time to take a deep dive into Guy Ritchie's thoughts about dressing well and how to enjoy dressing well. A lot of this content comes from his appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, but 90% of that podcast is about martial arts and only about 10% of it is about style. So I thought I'd save you some time by sharing the most memorable lessons from that episode and break it down into 4 simple rules. So Guy Ritchie's rule number 1 for dressing well is to own the suit. Guy Ritchie believes that a man should be the master of his own kingdom and the main character in his own movie. Because Guy Ritchie believes a man must take responsibility and ownership for everything in his life, that includes being intentional and deliberate with his way of dressing. So that requires simply dressing for the role you want in life. But simply buying a suit is not the same as owning a suit. Ritchie believes you must want to wear the suit. It must be an authentic gesture that you're proud of. And I think this is the huge difference between the guy who looks like crap because he's wearing it begrudgingly for the office, and the guy who looks $1 million because he's proud to wear it and he's made maximum effort to look good in it. The price of the suit is not what makes the difference. Now, if you want to wear the suit, but everybody else around you is dressing down, then you have a different problem on your hands. And this is a scenario I imagine many of us are familiar with. You have to choose between conforming with the crowd and dressing down in a way that doesn't feel good to you, or you give yourself enough confidence and reassure yourself that you're at your best when you're dressing sharp. We don't have to wear the suit out of convention anymore. We can wear it for us. Ritchie says he has his own narrative for why he's wearing it. Personally, I have my own narrative for dressing up too. You know, these days I go out in a blazer or sports jacket and tie or suit and tie at all times because I feel like I'm representing my channel. And I encourage you to develop your own story and your own narrative for why you feel good about dressing up too. Your narrative might be about the values you have, the way you want to be perceived, or just what makes you feel good. It all starts with the mentality. So that's why Guy Ritchie believes you must own the suit. Rule number 2 from Guy Ritchie is to reclaim the suit. In order to own the suit, Guy Ritchie believes we must reclaim the suit. But whom are we reclaiming it from? Well, we're reclaiming it from corporate dress codes, from drudgery, from conservatism. Guy Ritchie believes that we've been robbed of the suit by these people. We're reclaiming it from people who saw the suit as a symbol of office slavery, uniformity, conformity. As he says, we've been brainwashed not to dress like gentlemen. Ritchie admits that he previously found the idea of suits repugnant, but once he began exploring the sartorial path, he found something highly appealing there. And I'm sure many of you guys were not always a fan of suits and ties. Perhaps it used to mean something different for you. I know it did for me. So most likely, you now have a different understanding and appreciation for these garments and what they mean. A big reason that being well-dressed is appealing to Guy Ritchie is because it means dressing like a proper adult. He hates how many 40-year-old men go around looking like overgrown teenagers. And we see this so often today, there's no longer any kind of generation gap between the way people dress. You might see a 40-year-old dad and his 5-year-old son wearing exactly the same thing. A graphic t-shirt, shorts, and running shoes. Now, I wouldn't decorate an apartment in the same way that a 5-year-old would. I wouldn't listen to the same music or watch the same movies as a toddler. So why would I want to dress like one? For those of us who grew up around older men who were not well dressed, discovering this for ourselves is a long and complicated path. But once we do, we realize that it's so much more appealing. I imagine it's kind of like a woman putting on a beautiful dress for the first time or experiencing her first set of lingerie. There must be this moment of realization. Oh, this is what being a woman feels like. And for guys, I think we have the same thing when we put on a suit for the first time that we look and feel great in. It fits in with the classic idea of how a man should look. And for Guy Ritchie and many of you guys, there's something about that that's highly attractive. But Guy Ritchie believes there is one more important part about being well-dressed in the modern world. He believes a suit needs to be creative. And this creativity is a huge part of how you own the suit, reclaim the suit, and dress like the main character in your own movie. Ritchie thinks the bare minimum of creativity is wearing a pocket square. Once you add the pocket square, you're owning the suit. You're making a deliberate choice and putting a spin on it that 90% of men would not have the courage to do. It's almost like a badge that says, "This is my suit and I'm proud to wear it." Sometimes it's easy to be sad that we live in an era where dressing up is no longer the norm. But the opportunity that this gives us is to be more creative than men ever could be before. If you only want to wear knitted ties, go for it. You want to wear a baseball cap with your suit? That's totally fine. And whatever jewelry, tattoos, or unique accessories speak to you can be incorporated into classic style. You can choose the fabric, the color, and the fit of any suit that you want. So sure, we all need that charcoal or navy suit for a funeral and serious occasions, but that probably isn't going to be the suit that you love the most. It's going to be that double-breasted navy pinstripe, or the stone linen suit that you wear with loafers and sunglasses. Perhaps it's the tweed three-piece that you wear with your cap and boots. The choice is yours, and that's the beauty of this time right now. One of the missions of this channel and why I love making these videos and creating this community is I feel like we are celebrating the art of dressing well. We're almost romanticizing the suit, but the truth is it's not romantic, it's actually very realistic. And it's an empowering experience for a man, because there are two ways you can put on a suit. You can do it begrudgingly, resenting it, putting in the bare minimum just to cross that line of formality that's required for the job or the occasion. Or you can embrace it and love it and dress like a man of purpose. You can see the suit as your suit of armor as you eagerly anticipate the battles of every day. And once you get a handle on this mindset, it's very empowering and life-changing. Gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed hearing about this style philosophy of Guy Ritchie, and you found it as interesting and inspiring as I did. Personally, I'm fascinated by the psychology and the philosophy of style. My interest really does go deeper than just the pure aesthetics. And gentlemen, I want to hear from you in the comments. What is one word that sums up how you feel when you look your best? For me, it's confident. For you, it could be happy, empowered, or authentic. Let me know in the comments, and I'm very interested to read your responses. Another man with some very interesting views about style and creating an aesthetic for yourself is Ralph Lauren. And in this video, I break down how Ralph Lauren was the single biggest influence in the development of the old money aesthetic. I talk about where he got his inspiration from, how he made it his own, and I dissect some classic Ralph Lauren ads to see what you could take from them. So thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.